Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive into the incredible vision of a spiritual leader who wanted to completely rethink one of our most basic virtues, charity. So let's kick things off with a question that seems super simple, but maybe it's not. When I say the word charity, what's the very first thing that pops into your head? Yeah, for most of us, right? It's about giving material help to people who need it, donating money, dropping off food, or maybe volunteering at a local shelter. And those are all absolutely wonderful, necessary things. But for the amazing Buddhist leader, Master Hsing Yun, all of that was just the tip of the iceberg. He saw those acts as just the first step on a path that goes much, much deeper. And that gets us right to the heart of his big idea, which is perfectly captured by that old saying about the fishing rod. See, Master Hsing Yun believed real charity wasn't just about easing suffering for a day. It was about giving people the tools for permanent change, empowering them to lift themselves up for good. He gave this a name, Humanistic Buddhist charity. It's a way of looking at giving that nurtures the whole person, not just the body, but the mind and the spirit too. The goal isn't just to put a Band-Aid on a problem, it's to get to the root cause of the suffering itself. And that quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's such a powerful distinction. Helping someone out for a day is great, but empowering them for life is so much better. I mean, money runs out, food gets eaten, but knowledge and wisdom, that can feed a person for a lifetime. So you gotta wonder, where does an idea like this even come from? Well, it wasn't some abstract theory he came up with. It was really forged in the difficulties of his own childhood and a sense of compassion that was just part of who he was from day one. Get this, as a toddler, at a time when candy was a huge luxury, he instinctively shared his family's entire jar with all the neighborhood kids. He just wanted everyone to have that little bit of joy. And then, a few years later, he found this tiny chick that had been badly burned. And he didn't just feel sorry for it. He painstakingly nursed it back to health, feeding it by hand every single day for 2 years. That's not just a passing kindness. That's a deep, long-term commitment. And these stories, they just show this deep, almost built-in compassion that would really shape his entire life's work. He once said that more than anything else, it was this compassionate heart that he wanted to share with the world. Okay, so how do you take that kind of compassion and turn it into a real practical plan for giving? Well, Master Hsing Yun laid out his philosophy with some really powerful contrasts that kind of challenge us to think differently about what helping really means. So first up, he makes this really clear distinction between what he called temporary charity and eternal charity. On one side, you've got material things, which are great, but they eventually get used up. But on the other side, you have the gift of knowledge, of wisdom. These are spiritual tools that can nourish a person's mind for their whole life, maybe even longer. And then there's this other contrast he makes, bustling charity versus solitary charity. Think about it. Bustling charity is that high-profile disaster relief that you see all over the news. It's so important, of course. But solitary charity is the quiet, patient, often invisible work of building a school or developing someone's character. It doesn't make headlines, but its impact, it builds a much deeper foundation for society. And this right here, this might be the most profound distinction of all. Giving with form versus formless charity. Giving with form is all about the ego. You know, you're aware that you are the one giving, and maybe you expect a thank you or some recognition. But formless charity, that's the real goal. It's giving just for the sake of giving, with no thought of yourself or what you'll get back. It is truly, purely selfless. You know, this wasn't just some nice idea on paper. Master Hsing Yun and his organization, Fo Guangshan, actually went out and built an incredible system designed to put these ideas to work and support people through every single stage of their lives. And what's so amazing is how they built this complete system of care. It starts with the Dachi orphanage for kids, then schools for young people, then temples, which she called spiritual gas stations for adults, and it continues all the way to dignified communities for the elderly and even a peaceful final resting place. It's this whole complete vision of a compassionate society in action. But, and this is key, this vision of care doesn't stop at their own front door. Oh no, this compassionate network reaches far beyond its own communities, mobilizing to help wherever disaster strikes, anywhere in the world. I mean, when disaster hits, the response is just huge and it's fast. When Taiwan had its devastating '88 water disaster, His organization served up more than 100,000 hot meals to survivors and rescue workers. That's not just food, that's comfort, that's community. And really, their relief work tells this incredible global story of putting this philosophy into action. It really kicked into high gear after the massive 1999 earthquake right there in their home of Taiwan. Then, just 2 years after that, they were in New York City offering spiritual comfort and financial help after the 9/11 attacks, with Master Hsing Yun himself leading prayers at Ground Zero. And by 2004, their teams were on the ground literally rebuilding villages, homes, and orphanages after the catastrophic South Asian tsunami, all the way to the Wenshuan earthquake in China. And this is where Master Hsing Yun said something so beautiful. He framed their help not as charity, but as repaying a debt to the culture of that region that had nourished his own mind when he was young. So when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway? For Master Hsing Yun, the ultimate act of charity isn't about giving things. It's about giving people the power to heal themselves and to heal the very source of suffering in our world. He really believed that by healing the greed, anger, and ignorance that's inside of us, we can ultimately heal society from the inside out. And that leaves us with a really important question to think about in our own lives. Beyond just material things, what is the most powerful thing one person can truly give to another?